How can we deal with you in an expedient fashion? We could try the flame wand, but it's not likely to make too much of a dent. I think it's still like 2d5 or something with no training. Oof. So alternatively, oh, we have no Curari darts either. We're just gonna dance at the edge of vision here. Just throwing in the occasional poison dart. If things start looking dire, we can just head the other direction full speed. I think we can afford one more here. And hopefully you die. There we go. We feel a bit more experienced. Don't even have to watch it happen. See the results of our handiwork. And there we go. So as you can see, even against a hasted Knoll here, managed to get away in one piece without having to worry about actually fighting fair in any sense of the word, which I love to see. Honestly, too often in this game we find ourselves having to fight fair, and it's not usually a great outcome. It's tough because I'm normally using my tab auto fight to launch with my sling here so we can keep our poison darts quivered, but it causes some issues when we get too low health to use that quick tab action. Manual fire magic is interesting too. That actually counteracts a lot of the aptitude issues we have in that department. A two-headed ogre on D8 is also like, what the heck are you trying to pull game? But we're on one of the few characters where that doesn't matter too much, so it is just a ridiculous amount of free experience that we can pop in. You know what, Flying Skulls, you can take care of this pack. Fantastic work. Okie dokie. I wish we could take some of these friends downstairs with us, but that is fine. We'll just have to make do on the next level as well, and those Flying Skulls can potentially help us on the return trip. And crossbow. I'm picking this up at least. Definitely want to think about that one. Okay, I think I can just out-damage you, though it was slightly scarier than I'd like. Can we recall the skulls? Oh my gosh, we can. Thank you so much, EMP. First time playing New Red, definitely some kinks to work out. I assumed that'd be too powerful. Huh. Turns out the game is okay with it being exceptionally overpowered, eh? In that case, we can use these skulls to quickly storm through the next few levels here. Not bad, though they do get taken out. Dang, this hornet is not fooling around. Let's bring them up to our zombies at the very least. Get a helping hand. It's been a while since you played with your Red, but you're pretty sure all the permanent summons that are granted can be recalled. Yeah, that's really good to know. Thanks for the tip. In that case, hopefully we get quite a few more summons called to our side, because I could definitely see trying to use that to our advantage moving forward here. Though we can, of course, leave armies at the tops of stairs, which is still pretty good. That's a trick that we can pull from the Hilork of Bio handbook. Oh, jeez. Bad turn alignment there. We didn't manage to step away from the Orc Warrior with our first step, which is kind of what the plan was. So, oh boy, this is going to be a rough one. Let's maybe take you kids upstairs, and perfect. That's exactly who we wanted to kill, because the rest of you sons of guns, we can work with the old-fashioned way. Maybe when the bear goes berserk, changes things, but they don't manage to trigger it, and there we are. Onwards we go. This time using your zombies to get free steps. That was actually a bad escape up the stairs there, if just because we left ourselves open to being surrounded by two relatively strong enemies. But never didn't have it, of course. All you need is a little bit of luck on your side, and you can really just do whatever you want in this game. There's so much freedom. Quickly stone down these scorpions. Ooh, Psyche. Jumping out of nowhere is not great. what is it that you do here again? Yeah, not exactly what we're looking for. Though we should be able to take her out fairly easily. We have decent willpower for the majority of characters in this position, because that is one of the few departments where Spriggans truly get to shine. You know what, let's just head upstairs. Head back to this faraway staircase. Hopefully things have settled down a bit here. And indeed they have. And restart this fight up here without the centaur breathing down our necks. Okay. Chaos effects are going to be a wee bit painful here. Ooh, she made us mighty. Thank you. She is also mighty though, which does make me concerned for even taking a single hit. We have a 66% shot to hit her back. We can engage our Amulet of the Acrobat by taking a step. Ooh, but getting more poison from the chaos is not what you want to see there, so we will have to resort to a curing. Let's switch to our Curari and just try and take her out. Fantastic stuff. We could try and use the Dagger of Chaos ourselves, but that is playing a very dangerous game. Never know when you're gonna might, haste, or turn a scary enemy invisible, none of which is the desired outcome. Oh, hello my white friends. Group of enemies that would normally be quite scary, but we can try our best to just cheese out. Fantastic. And we're still just in the general routine of things. This is our life now, and this is all we do. Just run away from enemies and kite. We have to be slightly careful when these centaurs show up, especially since they just keep doing so. Come on. Oh my gosh, there's another one? Okay, we have to run and heal anyway, so maybe I should have been less obsessed with the idea. Should also switch to manually firing here so we don't lose too many rocks into the water. I know it seems like we have a lot of ammunition with over 100 stones, but that can go by exceptionally fast when you're just rapid machine gun firing your sling here. Okie dokie, a bunch of cool enchanted weapons that we can't use. Fantastic. Any bodies? It's the one downside of whites. They don't create any dang bodies, so what am I supposed to do with that? Well, let's step around you, step around the nightmare. These two are just kind of annoying here. We can run upstairs. Oh, whoops. I didn't mean to let them come next to me. Foolish mistakes. Very, very silly mistakes being made early on in the run here. So let's just try and acid one that moccasin as soon as possible. And then we can just finish this the old-fashioned way. You can see how close our speeds are, though. It takes us a whole lot longer to gain ground on the shadow than most of the enemies that we've encountered. Could even just leave the shadow alive up here for now. Pull them into like this corner and then run away. Which I actually don't mind the sound of. Missing a few stones by not going around the level and picking everything up. But otherwise, I think we're saving us a decent amount of trouble. There we go, we find our lair entrance. Which will probably end up going down right away here, but I'm going to try one more floor. And the Bailey is a very interesting time portal to come up next here. Unfortunately, our ranged ways are slightly countered by the fact that the majority of enemies that we'll find there follow the same creed. But we can hopefully find ourselves in a position where we can take full advantage of our speed. But okay, I'd like to find this Bailey. Those are a lot of enemies. Holy cow. Do you know what? Nah. Definitely not. See water? Excuse me, my wyvern friend. Oh gosh, we've attracted the horde. This time in a much more manageable grouping though, so that's great. Red also sends us a fantastic little white buddy here. It does get taken out by the sergeant, but that's to be expected. And now we can just kite a wee bit. Luckily, they both came down the same direction. Otherwise, we might have been surrounded there and had to start thinking quickly. Almost again, same thing. Get out of here, zombie. You know what, let's raise a bunch of minions. Maybe that will be enough. Not quite. So use a wand of acid to get some piercing damage on all these sons of guns. Because I want into this Bailey. It might have already collapsed by now, for all I know. So I hope everyone's been having a great weekend. Yes, 200 to fight recklessly. I know. Let me live dangerously, game. Trolls being a slightly more annoying target for our usual routine here because of the regen. Fortunately, if we miss too many of these stones in a row, the troll ends up healing more than we deal. So let's maybe throw one more acid charge at our problems. And there we go. The flip side of that, of course, is that we managed to get our hands on some troll leather armor. So we'll almost definitely be switching to that immediately here. Give us some slightly better defenses. And all you kids I can take out the old way. Fantastic. Now I've got to go back to reality tomorrow. Yes, the unfortunate downside of all weekends is that they do eventually come to a close, as much as we might wish otherwise. And also, winter decided to show up. We've been in a pretty nasty winter for a while here in Calgary. We have a pretty decent snow dump out there, and for the last week, we had a lot of just truly awfully cold days. Like, I don't mind cold. Have a lot of practice living in the cold here in Canada, but it has just been truly awful for a while here. So I've been having some of the, I guess, flip side luck in that regard, because yeah, most of the week has been frigid and horrible, but then yesterday and today things finally went back to a nice temperature. Though I don't think it's lasting long. I think we're going back into the negative 20s, negative 30s range in just a bit here, unfortunately. This is such a weird Bailey. It's just all gnolls with halberds of electrocution. I mean, I'm very lucky that we have some strong summons, because otherwise this is a bit of a nightmare zone. We've also now cleared out enough of the Bailey that we can start running away, which is huge, because yeah, the damage output on these sons of guns is just absolutely wild. But it does mean big armies for us, since they all create bodies, so because it's all about the silver linings, right? Run through. Have I seen the Bailey? There's 4 Severed Orc Knights and then dudes packing Scrolls of Summoning. Worst one you've seen? I haven't seen, I don't think I've seen the Scrolls of Summoning, but the 4 Severed Orc Knights, are you talking about the one where they're on islands? Because that's one of the worst ones that I've found. Especially, there's the one where you enter in, and there are the 2 distinct, like, island areas, and it's a bunch of arbalists firing down on you in this, like, thin drawbridge. Absolutely brutal, just, like, not a chance for a lot of characters there. Wait. Oh, right, because it's... I get so confused sometimes with the fact that it takes away anything that's irrelevant to us. In this case, all the halberds that we can't even use. But there we go, managed to take that one out. We did unfortunately lose all of the red summons that we got in the meantime there, which is not fantastic, but definitely not the end of the world, and just happy to survive and get some treasure. This is why I shouldn't be allowed to have control of my tab key, because that's the type of situation it gets us into. And no, it's the open floor space going right to left. The one I'm mentioning is bad as well. Okay, so then I think I've been lucky not to come across the one that you were bringing up. So very fortunate for me there, but In general, Baileys are a really good mix, I think, between potentially scary layouts that are very likely to murder you, but to weigh that out, there's a high potential for incredible treasures in there. I mean, it's the one place where I found myself coming across like a D12 gold dragon scales and stuff like that, which is absolutely ridiculous in the best way. We also should have, at some point here, gone around collecting all of the sling bullets that we've left behind for fights like this. Against anything with high armor class, our little rock flinging is not doing great. Can definitely revive a yak, see if they make a dent. Do some decent work, actually. Similar thing here, just throw zombies at the problem. To me, yaks, to me. I almost do want to take out the Forcemore message about throwing at our allies, because I feel like I'm going to be doing that a lot. And in this situation, I actually wouldn't mind doing it. But to be safe, we'll just launch at the feet of our gargoyle friend. You know what? I probably should have swapped over to one of our branded daggers, but there we go. Jeez, can't talk whatsoever. We finally managed to make our way through the fight. Love to see it. Hornet standing still just to let us stab them is also very much appreciated. Absolutely love it. But we are definitely in a much better position now with the troll leather armor than we were just a bit ago, because the extra heals we can get mean that we can truly abuse Pillar Dancing to the full extent of its power here. Hello, Josephine. Ghostly Fireball, I'm looking at you. That's undodgeable. Greedy 15, we have 56 health. So we're not gonna explore that floor of the dungeon yet. I guess there was a timed portal there. It was an ice cave, I believe. So we could explore the last unexplored staircase. Hopefully it's close to the ice cave and far away from Josephine. Actually, this is kind of weird. We are relatively far away from Josephine. I thought not, because we immediately see a wraith and some undead targets here. But unfortunately, this is a bad spot for us. We're going to be under fire from every direction all at once. So we probably just have to leave this one too, as much as I hate to say it. Oh, we also got another ability. Enslave Soul. Marks a monster's soul as ripe for the taking. Intelligent, living, holy, and demonic monsters can be targeted, as long as they're relatively uninjured. Okay. Duration of the mark is dependent on invocations, and if the monster dies while marked, its soul will become ours. Slave souls retain the monster's faculties, equipment, and abilities, as well as some of its innate healing. Ooh, but we can only have one at a time. That's very neat. That's a cool ability. Well, okay. Can definitely try and take something decent out of there. We also get the ability to drain life, which won't be using too much. Generally, if we get hit, we're already scared of getting murdered with the very next hit that comes our way. So, for now, I'm going to head up to lair, and maybe we can find a good soul to ensnare. Can bring them down with us to help take care of some of those problems. Guess we could start with a yak, right? Let's try not to injure you too much. Oh, right, no, it only works on intelligent monsters. Never mind. Sorry, yak. You're not intelligent enough for that. And now we can't take these buddies upstairs because they will completely lock us into that room. Instead, we can go on a little bit of a jaunt. Just bring one of you up at a time, though still not exactly ideal here. Do I have any souls that I've left on this level? No, no friends. Okay, we're going to be in a bit of a rough spot moving forward. It's hard to take advantage of your kiting ability when you're on a mostly unexplored floor. That's why going down any stairwell is going to be a bit of a danger point for us. But as you can see, we heal so much just with a tiny loop around this small area. we heal back most of our health. Don't know whether to reach that as an advantage or just a true representation of how little health we have in general as a Spriggan, but either way, it will help us stay alive. Even against things like cane toads, can just run away. Absolutely fantastic. This is why we need tons of ammo at our disposal, because even in just kind of medium length fights like this, we end up leaving so much ammunition lying around the floor. Takes a lot of pot shots to take care of any even remotely strong enemies. Ouch. Are you equal in speed with me? Oh, you are. You're even slightly faster. In that case, I want to introduce you to some of my friends here. And maybe as a group here, if we all work together and pitch in. Fantastic. Able to take them out. Can also do a quick check. I think to use this shield, we have to train a decent amount, 7.2. But now is about the time where I wouldn't mind training that up. So it's going to be one of the rare occurrences where we leave a skill at a non-round number. Gasp. Hate to admit it, but sometimes you just gotta train to that ideal level. And we're back to the usual. Hello. It's I think I struggled over your name last time because you followed a while back, and I remember saying hello, and then I realized after the fact that it could be It's Takei Man. Definitely let me know if you have a preferred name to be called, but hello. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Thanks for popping on by. Yeah, the is spelled incorrectly on purpose. Yeah, no, my dumb brain definitely did not get it the first time around. But I think I was sitting there like moments after the stream where I said your name out loud. I'm like, wait a second. There are words here. It's one of the more fun parts of my job here. I've always really enjoyed trying to pronounce things correctly. And so it's nice to have a venue where I can do that, and then usually have people who are nice enough to correct me and tell me exactly how to fix the problems. Holy cow. Hello, Flying Skulls. Nice to see all of you here. This is a beautiful spot where we can be a little bit sketchy in our fighting. And anytime this goes badly, we'll just go retreating through our skulls, and they can take care of any issues that we've left behind. Fantastic. But would you look at that? We're almost out of stones. Jeez Louise. We go through far too much ammunition. We need some real damage at some point. Not yet. We're still okay for now. Very much skirting by on our very decent evasion score, as well as the regeneration from the Troll's Leather. It's a nice little combination there, good little synergy to take advantage of. Fantastic. There is the start of lair. I'm not raising as many bodies as I should. Like, that area was just absolutely rife with them. So let's do that now, because we can park them at the top of the stairs and have some ridiculous things happen. So speaking of which, let's actually not use that stairwell. Let's go to a nice open one, because now we can recall our allies. Call them all, thank you. Head down with just our Flying Skulls. This is probably not a position I should find myself in. Taking more damage than I would like. We probably should have just taken these yaks upstairs to actually show off the phenomenon that I was just talking about. But hey, here we are. Instead, we'll just let them take care of a lot of our problems for us. Starting off fights and then letting them finish the job. Fantastic. Can probably drop Magical Power Ring and the hand crossbow for now, since we're not using that. Ooh, I didn't even notice we had an identified potion of experience on us. I'm gonna drink this right away. Should have maybe waited for the next level. Now that I think about it, we're pretty close to a level up here, but that's fine. Too late now, so we can throw it into shields. Could potentially go a little bit into evocations as well if we so desired. The shields is tempting because that aptitude is very hard to fight against, and this pretty much gets us all the way to the point where we can just about turn it off. So let's do that. Throw a point into dexterity, and we can start wielding this buckler as well. Fantastic. She'll double check at any spells that we managed to pick up since a bit ago. We have Ignite Poison. If I can get Ogleb's Toxic Radiation, I'll probably learn that spell. Poison magic is a decently fast train on this character. Drop a crossbow, you question my commitment to sparkle emotion, sir. Apologies. We'll come back for it, don't you worry. That's the thing about inventory management problems. If you want to truly suffer from them, you just have to constantly set yourself up to have to revisit any decisions you make in throwing stuff out. Can't commit to anything. Okie dokie, so we get Shoals as our first S branch here, eh? Not fantastic. High evasion is going to be nice in there in general, but I'm guessing we're going to come across some frightening situations to say the least. Switch over to our electric brand. Like to get in here before any of these skulls die. I'm very concerned about you two. Oh my gosh, okay, that was close, but managed to keep them in one piece, so that's sweet. Should almost have a macro that anytime I auto-explore, I just automatically cast Raise Dead, so I'm not forgetting to do so, but that's fine. And of course, a pair of gloves that we can never put on. Fantastic. That's exactly what you want to see. Should also switch back to my sling here. And fantastic work, squad. And all in all, definitely not too shabby. Can't wear gloves, but troll skin fits small and large creatures just the same. Very suspicious. It's almost like Spriggans were too powerful. They had to find some way to keep the little man down. Classic, trying to, like, big RNG. I don't know, this joke just doesn't hold water. Okay, we fall asleep, but we have our skulls here to pick up all the slack. Fantastic. And otherwise we should be just about fine this fight. Still slightly risky for us to fall asleep, but oh my gosh, never mind. Not even a little bit. Skull's OP. It's a jumpsuit. Exactly, anything fits if you're willing to mutilate it enough. We're actually just wearing like the hand skin of a troll. You got your like arm holes, your foot holes, and your head hole right there. Just shows that Spriggans are also the most truly evil species in the game, because we've talked about in the past how it's kind of messed up how often I'm finding myself just praying that I can steal the skin right off the body of a living animal. And that's just true to the nth degree, because it's all we can wear, which maybe makes it slightly less evil in some regard, but still kind of messed up if you think about it. Ooh, inventory's too full. Also, oh my gosh, I've been on autopilot this whole time. I've not identified anything. I think part of it is because we got a lot of free potion IDs from watching people drink it or from pulling them out of the vaults. But now is just about time, far past time, to identify some of these scrolls. Oh my gosh. Let's run to a stair, and let's read this giant stack. Hopefully they're ID, which they are. Fantastic stuff. And we can immediately start into our scrolls because we already have both those healing potions identified. Because we have so many of these, I'm even going to inscribe them with an @R1, and then I can just hit R and the number 1 to quickly auto-select these scrolls in particular. Let's keep going with scrolls, and I'm glad I did. It's a nice scroll of disappointment for your troubles. Not identifying stuff is basically my brand. Can't really argue with you there, unfortunately. That's too true. But, okie dokie. Get the ring Gois, so dexterity and dex +2, or wizardry and dex +2. There we go, those aren't the same thing anymore. We do kind of plan on getting into spells later on, so it could be a nice get. The arbalist is interesting if, we want to pivot into crossbows for the later part of the game. We can even do a quick check at some of our aptitudes here. I believe crossbows is decent. Yeah, it's a 0. That's good enough for me. In fact, we could leave throwing at 13 for now and take this another direction in the short term here. You know what, or I know what you would take. That I do. And honestly, I think I'm in the same boat here. I'm not too dead set on this artifact ring, staff conjuration, not even a little bit. We have no use for gold pieces. It's tempting because it's a good number. A bad number, I guess, but in being significant in any way whatsoever, in that regard, it's a fun one. It's so weird that we can use arbalests. It would mean saying goodbye to our buckler, but that's not a huge deal necessarily. Let's take it, because I'm not very enthused about any of these choices anyway. And so we might end up taking that. We could even do a quick check for, let's not even look up crossbow, let's look up bolt. There's a nice stack of bolts all around the world here. That seems pretty decent. Arbalests, of course, take a ridiculous amount of training to get to min delay, which is just once per turn. So that's slightly sketchy. This might attack too slowly, where any turn where we're potentially taking 2 turns worth of damage is a very frightening idea, at the very least. But we'll still definitely give it some thought and see if that ends up being our best route moving forward. Oh my gosh. Such an early demon trident. This is one of those things that is normally a go-to for me. I wouldn't even have to think about it. Unfortunately, as you can see with a Spriggan, we can't use it with our shield, so that's not quite as useful. But hey, it might mean that we go with like demon trident arbalist in the future, which does sound kind of fun, honestly. We'll leave it on the floor for now. I think we'll keep going dagger sling, and we'll be transferring slowly as we feel safe to do so into those other schools. Bit of a nice middle ground to hit. Oh my gosh, glowing skulls, you're honestly just doing too well. We even get another little follower. So in trunk, I'm blanking now. Did red get nerfed or buffed? Probably nerfed, right? Because this seems exceptionally powerful. I never realized quite how strong the potential for red was, but this is wild stuff. Seems pretty awesome. But I will hit through the plant. Yes. Yes. Okay, that plant will die eventually. Then go my minions, my army. Take down the Hydra, which we'll then bring up as a zombie of our own. Love to see it. Another 8-headed Hydra, eh? So we definitely don't want to be stuck in conflict with them, but can definitely outsource all the fighting to our lovely allies here. One thing I could potentially be doing is parking some of my like flying skulls and this phantasmal ghost on a different level here, so we can just call in a huge veritable army to any floor at any stage in the game. And I think that is something we'll be looking to do in the future, kind of play it like a Hill Orc of BO, where you want to build up an army but not necessarily be carrying them with you the whole time. Otherwise it's very hard to keep all of these buddies alive. You think Red falls off hard later on? That would make sense to me for sure. Because it would seem very early to be getting things like Flying Skulls as our allies. But I'm guessing it doesn't get too much better than this. That seems like a fairly reasonable trade-off. Ooh, some ice magic, including refrigeration. Refrigeration rather, I guess. But here's where I'm happy I didn't leave my flying skulls on the floor above. Jeez Louise. Oof, oof. Try and break line of sight, pop around corners as much as we possibly can. Just bring you upstairs. One of you seems much more manageable, much more reasonable. And you know what? This little phantasmal ghost can join us on our journeys now. I would appreciate a helping hand. Especially if we come across that same pack of dream sheep again. And not too shabby here. Another hand crossbow. Well, I think we're past that now. Ship has sailed and we're leaning more towards some wild shenanigans in our future. Let's back up so that our phantasmal ghost actually has a hand at helping us out in these fights. And switch to our dagger for the last few opponents. Fantastic. Well, absolutely love to see it. A lot of elephants, which is definitely not too scary. Could be frightening to see quite a bit, or this size of herd on a normal character, but as soon as things start going badly, I will, of course, take a page from our own book here and just run away. You know what? Yes, fire in my own allies' direction. See if I care. Just doing it out of spite at this point. You can also wait some turns for our ghost to heal up, of course. Ooh, and I should have almost definitely brought out an army of elephants, right? Sorry, excuse me, pardon me, don't mind me. Oh, that's a fungus there. This is not the right path to take. Whoops. How are you doing, zombie elephant? Yeah, actually surprisingly well. Nice. I'll definitely give you props for that, friend. But let's get a few skeletons on our side. So of course, zombies versus skeletons. Skeletons are quite a bit weaker in terms of defensive capabilities. So if we stall out and we don't raise bodies in time, we're just making a trade-off with slightly weaker minions. Oh, Cane Toad, hello. Thought the level was clear. Well, guess we'll keep going down for now. No real harm in doing so. Things are going fairly smoothly so far. What version is this? This is 0.27. And I believe, yeah, it's 0.27.0 as well. So I downloaded it right when Trunk got released to main branch. So we're not dealing with a lot of the brand new changes that are in Trunk right now. There are quite a few things that have been shaken up recently. But overall, I very much have enjoyed playing this version of the game. I think 0.25 to 0.27 have been some of my favorite update branches so far in all the years. Just because I've liked a lot of the changes and it's made it feel a lot fresher, the game in general. And as predicted, we are still very much dealing with the annoying confirms. Just that much worse when you have a ghost that teleports around. But that's fine. I guess we can always switch off to Dagger if it gets truly annoying. Like there. Fantastic. Oh, jeez. And Of course, overall, no real complaints here. Things are going absolutely fantastic. To get through this amount of lair without running into too many troubles is definitely a huge get for us. Let's even read some more ID scrolls, free up some inventory slots. Beautiful. Scroll of Noise is just another free inventory slot. Very much appreciate getting that. And wonderful. Cattle Plebis did manage to hit us, so we're very fortunate to have our ghost friends. Oh geez. Oh geez Louise. Very scary. The Cattle Plebis is going to be a real pain to fight. Can definitely cheat the system a little bit. Just staying slightly ahead of the curve. But man almighty, is it going to be a pain in the rear. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Well, let's bring in the army. All of you charged. None of them can be petrified, so that's a pretty huge advantage. And we get shafted to the bottom floor. That's scary. I mean, we are fast, but only helps for so long before you're completely surrounded. While I'm here, quick stab. Dang it. I was hoping for the one-shot kill, but we didn't get it, so let's instead just keep going on our merry little mission, trying to find stairwell before we get completely surrounded or petrified. Basilisk is no good. Okay, all clubs. Great, that's exactly what we're hoping for in life here. One of these days, I swear, we'll find a stairwell. We'll get out of here, please. Use my Spriggan. It's very sick. If I get frozen, that's not great. So we'll run away from the Ice Drake as soon as possible. Regular Wyvern, I don't mind quite as much, even though they can largely keep up with us. Nobody noticed me? Fantastic. Okay, we got quite a decent amount of luck there. Otherwise, that was on track to being a frightening experience for sure. Can I recall? No, nothing's on this floor. That should be a-okay. Just fight the rest of these buddies the old-fashioned way. Again, using troll armor to really take advantage of the kind of wild swings that we normally see on evasion-based characters. Because even if we take some really bad turns, all it takes is a few good turns on the reciprocal side in order to see us in no trouble whatsoever. Healed back up to pretty much full, thanks to the regeneration. And these yaks definitely helping out a great deal. Did that Hydra leave a body? It did not, unfortunately. Such a shame, too bad. Always nice to get some strong friends. But onwards we go. Jeez Louise, it's wild how quickly things swing around, but still not too shabby. Here's some artifact leather armor that we can never wear. Shame too bad, but we are looking all right, and with that we managed to clear down to layer 5, so this is probably where we'll take a bit of a break from this section. Either heading up to the regular dungeon, or we could start exploring our S branches. Fortunately, Spider, we are still in 0.27, so we're not dealing with new Spider yet, because otherwise we'd be in a whole heap load of trouble. The addition to melee spawns in Spider makes it a lot harder for species like Spriggan to make it through in one piece. But as is, we'll be almost as fast, or equally as fast as the majority of the spiders we see down there, and can always run away. Which is great.